Oh, wow.
Hi guys, good morning. We've had a few little technical issues this morning, so Roz and I are
Phew.
coming through on a different link, but we will give you a moment to catch up. I have cross-posted Roz. Morning, Roz. How are
Good.
you?
Yeah, I'm gradually calming down, mainly because I do like to get this organised at least half an hour before we go live. And that's
Yeah,
when the trouble started, and it just it wouldn't correct. So I
yeah,
had to hard boot and all sorts, and my computer only just came up. Um,
yeah.
Live now.
Timing.
Was able to pick the link from the messenger and away we go. But I did have my mobile phone backed up, ready, not backed up, ready, ready to go in Messenger to click through and connect via a mobile, which I haven't. Have I done that before? I have as a
I think
secondary
so.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So
Wow.
we've got Natasha saying hello. We've got people coming on now, Roz. So Sharon's there
Okay.
saying hi. Philomeno's saying
Oh,
good morning,
hi.
ladies. Hey, honey, I hope you're all well. It's been a bit of a crazy morning all round, I think, this morning. It's just they're very rushed to energy, I'm noticing at the
Oh,
moment.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Yes.
guess I probably still haven't come down off of the weekend's energy either at the moment. So I'm sure that's going to crash today, but hopefully that can hold out until this afternoon with that side of. So how was your weekend, Roz?
I'm trying to think, what did I do on the weekend? Um, Not much, but I suppose it was just me plodding along. Nothing's coming to memory all that quickly around my weekend, actually.
Yeah,
So, oh,
uh, I I think all the days just blend in together lately. It's become
mm,
one hectic energy after another. And I guess I know for myself, this is leading into week 2 of my 8 weeks of really hectic side of things in the way of the calendar with travel and different stuff like that. So for myself and the team, we've just been to Broken Hill over the weekend
yeah,
and got back Sunday night. Tried to have a day off yesterday, but Spirit was going, you got to write a workshop and
yeah,
it doesn't end.
yeah, yeah. It does
So,
feel like that sometimes,
yeah.
because you certainly do have a busy schedule. And hi,
Yeah.
everyone out there. Before I forget to say hi, because I didn't yet, did I? Really? No.
No, not
So,
really.
oh
And
gosh.
I forgot
Yeah.
to put my
So,
phone on silent, so just
oh,
excuse me while I
I might
do
even,
that.
I might actually even do the same now because I'd forgotten exactly the same.
Yeah, I did
Usually
one
part of
phone,
the
but
process.
I did one phone and forgot my private phone, so
Mm. Yeah.
at least the
I
shopping was done.
I
Yeah,
turned off the Apple stuff. That's down in the lounge room, and I thought, well, rather than drain the data flow as far as whatever number of things that you actually have hooked in, it's actually going to drain the speed of what a
yeah,
live stream does. So I remembered to do those two, an
yeah,
iPad and an iPhone. So
yeah.
yes,
Oh, beautiful.
it's actually ticking all the boxes in the list on a checklist that I haven't created yet.
Yeah. One step at a time. So
Yeah,
Natasha's
got to
just saying,
remember that.
yeah, Natasha's just
Mm,
saying her weekend was full on with her little one. So,
mm,
and I think we're just sitting in that crazy energy at the moment, and it's pushing us to sort of keep moving forward, but testing us once again with this energy because I
mm.
thought it had sort of quietened down for a little bit. Hi, Pam. She's sending the love heart through. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess that probably is sort of going to lead us into this week's topic as well, because I was just saying to Roz, I'd like to talk about the reminder to take time for ourselves, okay? Because a lot of us are sitting in that hectic energy, and I'm noticing with a lot of my clients, they started to make the change over the last month or two where they were starting to sort of focus and put their needs first before everybody else's. But it seems like we're all starting, and I'm doing it myself. I'm starting to fall back into old habits. So I'm aware of it. So I'm pulling myself up to make those changes. But I want to say, look at what's going on in your lives. Look at the patterns. Look, are you getting take a moment and ask yourself, are you jumping back into your old habits where you had made change? How are you feeling it, Roz?
Probably for me, it's a bit more of that scatteredness. Yeah, it is part of old habits and not keeping track where my focus needs to be. And,
Yeah.
me mentioning the checklist, I mean, it's what I would really like to have for every little thing that I need to do. But even
Yeah.
then, I'm losing some of those because I've got some papers are a bit scattered in nice, neat piles, and I know which pile they are, but it's still having that division of piles, even is scattering it a bit because, well, yeah, it's organised scatter, if you understand that. And it is
Yeah.
an old habit. And that means I'm not focusing on one thing at a time and ticking it off because I do like the checkbox thing. Am I doing the tick right for a right-hander there in the camera? I
Yes.
suppose so. Because I'm not actually monitoring myself on because I have ticked my Facebook page. I'm just looking at the comments as I come because, again, in the back end, this time I'm in the back end, it's I can't see all the comments. And I don't like
No,
that.
no, that's right.
They're not
I'm
scrolling through very well here.
Yeah, no. Well, as they're coming in, Ros, I will put them up.
Yeah,
So if we're talking and something comes up, I will post it, sort of thing, and leave it there until we see it. But
yeah.
at the moment, they have come to a standstill. So whether there is
That's
just a
why.
slight glitch or there's no other comments coming in, but we do have 15 people joining in with us at the moment. So I guess
Yeah.
probably a big part of things at the moment, and if my little quick typing note would work, a big part is to remember to
Yes.
breathe. And I think, I know you can probably relate to this morning, Ros, with technology and the moment sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
A lot of us are forgetting to do it. So,
Yeah.
breathe. When we stop and we breathe, it raises our vibrations. It brings our energy up as well with that.
Mm.
And that will also help us ground ourselves. And it's funny because part of my notes I need to finish off for tonight's workshop is around grounding. So Spirit's just giving me that reminder
Mm.
in
Mm.
how it is very important to do that as well with that. So I
Yeah.
want to say, remember
Yeah.
to do it. So,
I think too, what sort of technique can you actually use to help strengthen the fact that breathing is important?
yeah,
Besides that, we do automatically do it most of the time. Uh, there's times where I've been driving and I realise, oh, I'm holding my breath. And usually, it has been that round Devil's Elbow when it was still that time where that was open most of the time as the main thoroughfare to Adelaide and the rest. I'd find by the time I got down, I'd held my breath going around all those horrible corners.
yeah,
And even when I'm in the middle of doing something and concentrating, having that focus that is actually targeted and honed in, I'd be so much concentrating on it that I'd forget to breathe deeply. I'd be, it'd be, yeah, like that. I mean, even then, just trying to think of the right word, I was just stopping breathing. It's only
yeah.
for the moments, but it really is putting that thought to doing the deep breaths often enough that you can actually feel that rise in what your energy is doing too. Mm.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys are joining in. Welcome. Obviously, we're intuitive chat with Leanne and Ross. While Ross was talking, I was typing. So, please feel free to share with us how this energy is affecting you at the moment. And you may not be feeling it. Some are, some aren't. But
Mm.
I'm just noticing a lot of people, a lot of my clients over the weekend and stuff are sort of struggling at the moment to put themselves first in that sense. And there's nothing wrong with taking some time for you. I've been saying
Mm.
to people, I think now, Ros, for the last 12, 18 months, be selfish. Now, I mean that
Mm.
in a good way. I mean, put yourself first and look at what it is that you need to do to serve your soul. And when you do that,
Mm.
I believe everything else is going to follow at the same time. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's an incredible feeling when you can put yourself
Mm.
forward and let go of all the expectations, the pressures, the stress that comes with getting very much in our own heads. So,
Yeah. I've even found myself falling back into not old habit, because I never really actually formed it into a habit, but the desire and the need actually to, for me, I really enjoy sound therapy. So it's just that falling into either humming, or the last couple of mornings it actually has been just singing. And it's not songs that I'd actually sing. And this is actually, it is a really good exercise connected with the breath, of course, because to actually
yeah,
put out sounds and even talking, and we have to breathe reasonably well if we want it to sound nice when we're doing voicing and toning and singing words and songs. It's all part of a process of actually having that breath working well for us. So I have actually found myself doing the singing like I used to, and it is more toning, because I actually feel the vibration and send it to where in the body it feels like it needs it. So that's part of my process, and it works really well. And that,
yeah.
I'm finding, there's an automatic, spirits just, I've just done it without me even thinking. Spirits led me into it because it's what I need.
Yeah. So you're telling me if I don't think this is going to work though. If I breathe more, my voice might sound better when I'm trying to sing. I
Look,
need more help.
I suppose it depends a bit, because I have done a few of the voice type workshop things and that, and the
Yeah.
breathing, the way we breathe. Too often we are actually shallow breather. I see Pam's actually put that up there. The shallow breath that we're doing isn't really conducive to actually getting a good sound out. So that you're breathing, and it sort of needs a demonstration of how to do it, but you're breathing more into the depth of the abdomen and filling from the bottom up into the lungs, to the tip of the lungs,
Yeah.
so you're getting that depth in the breath, and controlling how fast or slow you're actually expelling it. But you're
Yeah.
expelling it from the bottom of the abdomen back out from the top of the lungs top. So it's not quite how we breathe automatically, but it can become a reasonably good, easy to do habit to just get that healing factor going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I suppose I've probably got to the point I don't consciously think of it all that often, that this is the way I have to breathe to do the toning.
Yeah.
But
You just know.
it is fairly easy to learn and do.
Yeah. And I guess over time, it's like everything. The more you do it, the more it becomes second nature to us as well. And Pam's just saying, I'm a shallow breather, and most of the time have to remind myself to breathe. And a lot of us do, hun. We find that we breathe more to the chest, the upper chest area, rather than take the long, slow, deep breaths. And I quite often find myself that I do it as well. I don't know what it is, why I do it, but all of a sudden spirit will have me do that gasp for air sort of thing. I go through periods of time where it will come and go, and they are pushing me to take that deep breath. And I think it becomes, I'm too focused in what I'm doing, or too much it's not in my own head, but it is too much in that energy that I'm sitting with at that time, with that side of it.
You just reminded me, that gasp. I mean, it is a reminder. Yeah, it is that jolt to actually get us to breathe again. But it reminds me of a time where, I've had 4 kids, so I've gone through those toddler tantrum stages 4 times, and probably a couple with grandchildren. And you sort of think, there was one time in particular that was definitely horrendous in the supermarket, and I'm sure all mums go through it, where they decide to do the little tanty. And so I think it was the eldest decided this one day, and I thought, bugger her, I'm going to leave her there. So I did, but she decided to run out of the shop. So I'm going chasing her. And this was up Murray Bridge. Can remember it quite clearly. And once I'd got her and got her back and etc., in those days smacking was a little bit more acceptable, sort of. I just gave her a little quick smack on the leg because she ran out. How unsafe. But anyway, I'm sure we've all gone through that. But there was a lovely lady who said, look, if you'd left her there and she'd held her breath and collapsed on the floor or anything, the knock would have woken her up and she'd have taken her breath. So that's something that I'd always been reminded of, because really they can't hurt themselves by holding their breaths and doing the tantrums and the rest. It's just let them have it out for themselves.
Yeah,
and
let them move the energy.
So,
yeah, and I guess that's something else. We don't need to get pulled into that energy either at the same time. I'm finding with myself, I'm pulling away from people a little bit lately that are getting stuck in that energy that isn't serving their purpose, so to speak. And I just don't seem to, I don't know if it's because of getting older. I don't seem to have as much patience with it these days. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you can see the bigger picture, you can see what's going on, but I choose or Spirit's not allowing me to get involved in that energy or stuck in those ways anymore. So
I think a lot of that too is because, like, we ourselves have our own path that we've been treading and moving through. And part of that too, I mean, I felt that myself as being a teacher, you know, to actually be the example and show the way for those who are coming behind us. But if that's the right way of putting it, it's being a guide for others, but also we need to continue onward with what our journey is too. So there is frustration at being held up, because unless those who we're showing don't take their own moves to move themselves forward too, we can get too stuck in trying to help them with every step of the way. But it's their responsibility to take the moves themselves too. We can only be the guides, not be their walking stick.
Yeah, we can give them the tools to help make the change, but they need to make the change. Otherwise, they're not going to go anywhere, sort of in that sense. They get stuck. But I'm just finding lately, it's like I'm happy to sit and listen to somebody that wants to talk because they need to move that energy. But I really don't feel that I've got anything to put into that or to play into that this sort of thing until the time is right. And it's sometimes it's easy to see the bigger picture from the outside than get involved in that energy. So
yes,
and I think that's where, you know, it could be quite easy to fall back into those old patterns, because I have been dragged into dramas with other people in their lives and stuff over the past. But it's kind of like there has been that pull around me, not just in one person, but in several people lately, that I've sort of gone, no, I'm happy to listen, but I don't want to be a part of it in that sense.
Yeah.
So
I mean, sometimes too, remembering it is their story. And every story is valid because it's from their own perspective and they need to share it. And that's part of the healing process for many, is to actually share their story.
Oh, definitely.
You don't have to do anything about it. And when we start feeling as healers and therapists and whatever we do in that field, we don't have to do anything about it for them. It is that reminder. It's their story. We can be a guide, not, you know, help with them finding their own answers, because the answers I have are for me and my path in general. That's how I see it and how I, well, hopefully helping others.
I think it's a good way to look at it. It's a good way to put it too. And Pam just says, yes, it comes with age. I can't take the negative energy. Some people are focused on negativity. It's depressing. It really is. And I think, Pam, you're so right there, hon, because as time is going on, I'm finding it's more and more depressing sort of thing. So, you know, it's probably more depressing than having our own stuff or dealing with our own stuff, because we're in control of our own. We can't control theirs, you know, as much as you want to move people through that energy.
And I think that's part too of how we're actually going to look after ourselves in those sorts of situations. It is, like you mentioned, the feeling that you just want to move away from certain people and the rest, that for very good reason, because their energy is not what you need to be around anymore. Years back, I heard the term, you know, there's just some people who are energy vampires, and sort of, Yeah, there is. But it's
It
also,
is
too, partly remembering we need to put up our, that
protection.
protection
Yeah,
and that barrier and
definitely.
say, look, I'm not giving you permission to do that to me. I can choose to continue on with how I feel good about myself and everything, and what I'm giving you can take or not, but I'm taking me and myself away from your energy if all you're going to do is keep trying to drag it down.
Yeah,
So,
that's it. Honey, Rachel's just saying good morning. Good
yeah.
morning, hun. Hope you're
Good
well.
morning.
And Francine is just saying, I'm very depressed with lots of negative people around me lately. Yeah. And I think there is more negative coming out, the negative energy. People seem to, and this I think is the part of going back to the old habits as well, where people are finding it hard not to acknowledge it and let that energy go. So, Francine, I would say, honey, there is the need to protect your energy. So, as I say to my students, put yourself in a bubble or something like that that will help you to protect your energy so you're not taking it on in yourself. Even those that are negative around you, people have probably heard me say in the past, put a mirror up between you
Yeah.
and that person in your mind, not a physical mirror. The mind is a very powerful thing. So you can put it that you can reflect I'll put you on things,
Yeah, just
single screen a sec, Roz.
yeah, no, that's all right. I'm
There we
just
go.
trying to find the right spot before you did
Yeah.
that, but that's okay.
It's okay. So you reflect that image back at them with
Yeah.
that mirror. Go on,
And as I'm
Roz.
watching the reflection there, because I did happen to have my 2 decks of cards out. This one is actually the Gilded Lenormand,
I love
the
those.
Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck. They're just such beautiful artwork. So this is the one that actually popped out for you. I can't actually read it very clearly, being I've got the back of it on here and I haven't actually looked at it. So surprise, it was Francine, wasn't it? You've seen that first before I have. So interpretation, take your mind to what actually is your first point that you've seen on this card, and let that be the focus in what you're seeing with the card.
Turn around the card and have a look, Roz.
Oh, what is it? Mountains.
A very pointy mountain.
Oh, very pointy mountain. Oh, yes.
I love
But have
it.
a look right down the bottom. That's where my
Oh,
eye went. Was the
dear.
moose or the deer? I
Yeah,
can't get
it's
that
probably a moose,
focused.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that'll be
Beautiful.
different. Francine, you'll pick whatever it is out of that is for you, just in helping with that depression and the energy picking it up. You
Yeah.
choose how you feel. Choose
Yeah.
how you feel.
I love it. So I just love the way you said, whatever point of focus comes to your mind is massive pointy mountain. I think she hasn't seen it yet. Oh, I love it. Oh, Francine says it's a mountain to climb.
Yeah.
There's your doorbell again.
Oh, you can hear that? Yes, it is.
We can.
Do you mind if I just go and
That's
answer
okay.
that? So sorry. I need to put a sign up next time. Hold on a moment.
Come back.
Continue onward.
That's fine. We'll keep talking. So, and Francine, that's true. So it's a mountain to climb. So, we're dealing with those negative people. What is the lesson in it for you, honey? Because I just get the reference to, the need to look at how it affects you with that as well. And Francine's just saying, but I will get there. And that's it, honey. It's having that focus on the end picture. And see, that's where I'm finding a lot of people are getting caught into the old habits again, where it's more about going back into the old ways and being in that moment rather than allowing themselves once again to look at the future and where they're heading in that side of them. So, it is important I keep saying to people, take a step back, take a deep breath, ground your energy. And as you do that breathing, you're going to feel your energy center itself. So when it does that, you're going to feel better within ourselves with that side of it as well. So, it's just putting one foot in front of the other and keeping that focus more to the forefront. And when we do that, we will find that things will start to move very quickly in that same way. So hopefully, Francine, that makes sense to you with what you're experiencing at the moment as well. Hey, Susie, it's lovely to see you here too. Thank you for joining in. Look, guys, please feel free to hit the share button. Invite your friends and family to join in the conversations as well. And what we might do, maybe next week. I haven't spoken to Roz. I haven't run this by her past her as yet. But maybe what we might do is we might look at actually dropping a link into to somebody to actually join us in the conversation as well, with that side of it. I haven't actually got my other screen set up to be able to do that on Facebook. Thanks, Susie. Really appreciate that. Francine does say that it makes sense with her as well with that, so that's great. So, but yeah, like I'll fill Roz in on it in a second. But Roz, I was just saying what we might do, maybe next week we could drop a link into somebody and they could come live on screen with us and join in the conversation as well.
Yeah, so that'd be great. I've thought of that before too.
So actually, okay, let me see how I can do this. Just excuse me while I'm looking at my second screen. It won't take me long. How about we try it today?
Oh, we could, yeah. Yeah, because you've got that.
Yeah.
You've got the link on your end this time, because mine would have been deleted by now.
Yeah. So if I can just get my time live and if somebody would like to volunteer, somebody that has a Chrome browser, and you've got headphones and a mic, and you've got a camera on the device that you're using, just let us know, and we'll drop you the link, and you can come in and join us in the chat. Hey, Paula, I hope you're well, honey. Yeah. She's just saying good morning to both of us as well there, Roz.
Just popped in,
yeah.
Good.
So, yeah.
So don't think on the... Yep, no, that's right. Keep going.
Francine was just... So you catch up. Francine was just saying that she's got like a mountain in front of her to climb, but she is getting there one step at a time. So she's heading in the right direction. And you know what? I don't think it matters how fast we get to that point, as long as we keep heading in the right direction.
Yeah, it was only just recently too that I was listening, reading, can't remember what avenue it was, but it was that we really do need the mountains in life, because that's actually where your muscles get exercise. You know, if you're on flat ground all the time, you're not getting that challenge. You're not actually growing your life and your learnings and the rest, because you're actually using that mountain to be that strengthener. And, you know, once you've achieved the crest, or is that what it's called? Crest, top?
Yeah.
You know, that part.
Yep. The top part. Yep.
You've got that reward of at least having, you know, you've got the view of the overall, like, you know, that beautiful view at the top and everything, and you're easier going down. And it really is all about the hills and valleys and those mountains in life, learning as we go. So
yeah.
That's
it. Oh, Paula's just saying she's got bronchitis. Oh, honey, send you some healing. She's so over this weather. Believe me, summer's not going to be far away. So we'll be complaining it'll be too warm soon, I'm sure. So, yeah. So would somebody like to volunteer to come online with us? It doesn't matter what you look like. You can still be in your pajamas. That is fine.
And I've done that before. Been in my nightie and dressing gown.
Yeah, I've had the pajama pants on and the Ugg boots. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. Susie says she always seems to have a lot of things at once, but always do get through, and I can see how far I've come quite a lot has come up to clear and resonate at this time.
Yeah,
And
I think that's part of the climbing mountain.
yeah, and I think it's great that you are seeing that, Susie, and that you're aware of it as well, because it's really important to acknowledge that stuff, to be able to change, like to let it go, to acknowledge it. And if we keep holding on to it, it's just going to keep manifesting. But I keep saying to people lately, it's like over the last 12, 18 months, even 2 years, we've had to deal with a lot of stuff, but we've thought we've done that groundwork and let go of it, where now it's stuff really deep on that soul level that is coming to the top. So Paula, do I take that, honey, as you'll come online with us? And Paula's just saying that her legs are sore from climbing, but I got there. And that's it. And, we've got to be proud of ourselves, acknowledge that, when that happens.
So I put a laugh on that one. It wasn't meant to be that one. It's supposed to be the little heart. For those that look on the Facebook page, I have got the two screens, windows open now, so that I can at least look and comment if I need to. I'm commenting as Hypnosis Plus with Roz. So for those that might wonder, who's that? It is me.
Beautiful. Well, Susie is still in her pajamas, but willing to come online with us. Just while we're talking, Susie, I will message you the link. Actually, what I'll do, hon, is I will put it in the chat for this broadcast when my second screen loads, because I'm live, it goes a little bit slower, unfortunately. And then you can just click on it from there, and then maybe after as easy as finished, if anybody else wakes up the confidence, they can also join in as well with that.
And so then you could probably, I'll just, does that group chat work in our Be Live in the background? It does, doesn't it?
Be Live. It should.
That's all right.
I think I just put it in the right. Oop, no, I didn't. I put that on Adair's comment. So sorry, Adair. I know Adair's not watching. She's actually in Sydney at the moment. Yeah. My screen moved before I realised. Yeah. But that's okay. Yes, I do want to delete that. You got to love the way technology goes. It's so slow. So
it can be. It's why I turned off the phone and the iPad, like the iPhone and the iPad. They're very old and they take up a lot of resources now. So it's getting to the point where I either replace or forget about those numbers.
Yeah.
Which I need to keep because they're my business ones. So,
That's it. And I think that's where a lot of this old stuff is coming out, and it's starting to mix with the new. And we're sort of holding on, even in life, we're holding on to that old stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So
nearly there, Susie.
Pam is from USA, 9:40 in the evening. Yep, that's.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Beautiful.
Wow, which side? West Coast, Pam. So it's lovely seeing the global factor when we're doing the live technology like this. It's great. Yeah,
that's it. So Susie, the My Time TV link is in there now. It's a facebook.com, and it goes on. So if you'd like to click on that, it won't just take a second to come through. Just follow the prompts, and it will bring you through to the lobby, and I'll bring you up. Beautiful. Yeah, no, it's good to see that people are joining in more around the world with that as well. So, excellent.
The fact that we're extending our reach in many degrees is really good, I feel, because we're actually getting a more extended point of view from other people's perspectives, and even sometimes with the slight cultural differences as well. I've found not heaps, because most of those that I've connected with have been English speaking and basically the old English style, or that style of culture as such, the British, Irish, American. Just trying to think if I come across to I have come across some German, but I don't understand it, so it's hard to read sometimes. Detroit
Yeah.
North, yep.
Yeah, excellent. So I have no idea where that is, but I know
think
it's in the
it's
USA.
central, isn't it? Detroit, I think, is above one of the Great Lakes or around the Great Lakes somewhere.
Yeah.
Gradually learning some of the USA state positionings. Geography, it's
Yeah,
called, isn't it?
that's it. It
Yeah. Yeah.
is. So
So,
beautiful. Excellent. So Susie, you should be able to see that link, hun. If you click on it, just follow it through.
and the invitation's open for anyone else too that would like
Yeah.
to,
Yeah, we do only have
isn't
about another
it?
15. Yeah, we
Minutes.
can,
Yeah.
and we can do this again next week as well. We can be more prepared rather than us put you on the spot.
And
Leanne, you
hopefully
are
my
making me.
computer will work. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Paula,
Mm.
you're making me feel cold. It's freezing in my unit. Oh, honey, I quite often feel quite warm and sort of thing with that. So, I'm the sun is out. I'm holding on to hope that summer is coming. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a beautiful Great Lake. Yes, there.
Yeah. I thought that's
Excellent.
where it might
Thanks,
have been.
Pam. Excellent. So Josh just
Oh.
says, in regards to taking time to ourselves, I have found walking has extremely benefited. I have just started walking 30 minutes a day with my dog, and my mood has totally lifted, which is so nice. It is. It's great. And well done, Josh, for taking the time.
Yeah.
I was only laying in bed a couple of days ago thinking I need to get back into that as well now that the weather's getting warmer. You're moving or you're lifting your vibrations, so you've got to feel better, as well as you're getting that oxygen through our blood, through our body, and that makes a really big change.
Yeah, I think too with doing that outside walk, because most of the time it is definitely outside, you've actually got that double edge of being grounding yourself as well too, so that with that process it really is connecting the whole body to what is actually at that spiritual level, because that's where I find walking really beneficial is because it does take me into that bit of a space, a Zen walking type of thing. Even though I've got a dog that keeps pulling me out wanting to sniff everything as well. It is good.
And the wildflowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the beautiful wildflowers would be incredible. You are so lucky. My area is very built up residential type of areas. So, yeah. Paula's just saying she started meditating 30 minutes a day, concentrating on the breath, and it's helped her a lot. It's amazing what you do, because even like Josh with his walking is a form of meditation type of thing, because you get in that headspace and you are more focused on cutting out that noise, the life noise type of thing, the noises. The clutter that's in our head, and you're focusing on that breath, and you're doing that with meditation as well.
Yeah.
So, and Pam's just saying that the animals can help keep her grounded as well. So that's beautiful. I'm guessing that could be that lake that she spoke about in her picture next to her comment. It looks really pretty. So what a beautiful view there with that.
I'm very lucky to have Lake Albert as being my, sort of an oblique front yard. As I'm looking out my lounge window, it's over, that way. Whichever way, it's on an angle, and it's lovely to see it there, go walk along it with the dog. And I've always liked water, so much more refreshing than along the dirt roads, which I had on Kangaroo Island.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. So Josh is just mentioning that walking helps him to focus more now as well. And, it takes us out of that clutter. We focus on the breath. We focus where we're putting our feet, so to speak, and the rest grows from there. I'm guessing Susie may be having trouble getting in.
Maybe we should look up whether Mercury's in retrograde again.
I've got a funny feeling something's going on with the trouble we had today. So what I'll do is I'll put that guest list back Maybe
Yep.
Susie, that might not be the right
This one is.
the right
Uh-oh.
link. Whoops, sorry, hon. Just what I've just put up there, I've copied and pasted it again. And it does look different. So maybe if
It
you just
definitely
try the one
does.
that has just come back up, you may
Mm.
be sitting in a chat room that nobody's there with. I'm just wondering,
Oh,
Roz, if it was the one
uh,
from earlier on.
yeah. Like, well, that would have been closed off.
You would think.
Wouldn't have been able to get in because it's. Look, it was a funny thing. I wasn't able to actually sign out of that broadcast when I was in there, waiting to get it going. When it just
Yeah.
hung, the whole thing just hung. I had to
Yeah.
do a turn off hard boot. Just yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't know
we've
if it
only
cancelled me out. Hmm.
okay, so it might be a bit strange. So Susie, honey, if you're
Mm.
listening, you may be in the wrong chat room, but maybe try the one that I have just put up now. We only have about 10 minutes left before I do have to run off and see a client in a moment.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
we can certainly be more prepared because this was just a last minute thought while Roz was at the front door
Yeah.
to do this sort of thing. So even if somebody wants to jump in first into the library, the lobby, we'll do that. How's that sound?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just click on that link that
Um,
has just been posted.
all right. I just got to pop out for a sec. Okay. Is that all right? I don't
Okay.
know how I can
No.
mute this. If you want to drop me down to the lobby and just be solo for the
All right.
minute, what do I
Yeah.
have to do?
Okay, I've dropped it down to the lobby while she was just talking. Excellent. So I have no idea what the last bit was that she said, but that's all good. I can see her when she comes back into the lobby. Paula's going to come on. Beautiful, Hannah. I can't see you in my lobby as yet. So if you click on the link that has Be Live TV broadcast talk show guest ends in, I can actually bring you up into the lobby to join in with me as well. Because it'd be lovely to. My iPad won't let me connect. Oh, because it hasn't got a Google Chrome browser, honey. You need to have a Google Chrome browser. So for somebody that is running a English would help. I'm sorry about my speech today. I have been talking nonstop. Friday night we had a live show in Broken Hill, so I spent two and a half hours nonstop talking there, and readings all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Had a house full of people come and go yesterday from what was supposed to be my day off, and now I'm supposed to be talking this afternoon to do readings, but we'll get there. Oh, it's just giving you emojis. That's right, honey. Maybe next time, maybe next week we can do that with you, hun. So if you can be on a device or a phone that has Google Chrome, we can do that. But I guess in summary, I just sort of wanted to talk this week about looking at how we're slipping back into old habits a little bit. It can be a bit of a fight or a battle in ourselves to be aware of that we are doing that at times. So I want to say just look at what's going on in your life, because I think the energy to me feels like they're very much trying to pull us back into those old habits. We just need to stay grounded, and we can do that by putting our feet firmly on the ground with Mother Earth, and to be able to just breathe and center our energy. And we're going to always have those challenges. So, when that stuff comes up, acknowledge it and let it go rather than holding on to it or suppressing it and worrying about dealing with it later on. So, if you can acknowledge it, let it go, you'll be able to move forward a much quicker and happier soul with that side of it. But we are really being pushed lately to do that digging on that deeper soul level and let go of the little bits and pieces that are still holding on that deeper level. But when you can do that, you're going to find that you're going to move forward really quickly. So to me, I do feel like it's going to be more about being able to hold on to our hats, so to speak, and be able to move excuse me, forward a lot quicker with that. Paula's just saying, I am not in love with the universe at the moment. It's pushing my buttons. Honey, I think it's pushing a lot of our buttons as well. But rather than trying to, sorry, I just mute myself. I have a cough. Sorry about that. Rather than trying to fight that energy or get angry with that energy, it's important to just breathe and allow that energy to move. And when you find that you can do that, that will move a lot quicker than trying to change it in that way. So look at the changes that, you know, you'll be going through at the same time as well. So I'm just going to bring Ros back up into the broadcast. She's counting it up. I'm back. You're back. I never went anywhere. I'm saying I'm back, but I love it. And Francine is just saying it sure is. So, Ros, I was just quickly chatting about, you know, how we can acknowledge those old habits and be aware that we're doing it and how to make change and to ground ourselves in the same way. And, you know, as the more we do it, the more we become aware of it, the more it becomes second nature. So, pardon me, we're going to find that,
what sort of things was it you were suggesting? I'm looking back at the quickly looking back at the comments there, or pushing buttons. Yeah, don't we know it?
Yeah, Paula. That's it. Yep. Paula, Paula is ventilating from breathing, so slow it down.
Slow it down.
Not the short, fast breaths, the nice stomach deep breaths. So see yourself breathe down into your belly button and see how long you can hold it for. You know, if you can get your breath work down, and this is actually something I've set as a challenge for my students tonight to practice over the next week, to practice in getting down to 4 or 5 deep breaths in a minute. So it's going to take time. And they're going to go, oh my God, I can't do that. But it's going to slow their breathing down and make them more aware of it. Okay.
Yeah, just counting the breaths as you're doing them will actually help you to slow it down. When I was doing volunteer AMBO many years ago now, it feels, that's one of the things that you actually did check was the pulse rate, the blood pressure, and the breaths per minute. 7 is about the average in a normal breathing pattern. So if you can slow it down to being about 7, you're pretty much spot on. So
and if you can get lower than that, you're probably going more into a meditative space, which we need to do that at times, just to let go. Not while you're driving or operating machinery, but you do need to. And so I get the feeling my client that's about to arrive has got indigestion because I'm starting to take it on now.
So it's probably a good sign it's time that we do need to actually finish the call then, isn't it? Not the show, whatever.
My doorbell ring.
Yes.
So Susie's just saying she got a call. So that's okay, honey. What we will do now, honey, because we do need to finish up because I have a client that's due any second. Unfortunately, it's been a bit rushed today. What we will do is next Tuesday we'll put the link up. So guys, be prepared. If you'd love to come on and join in a conversation with Ros and I, we'd love to, you know, include you in it as well and hear what you've got to say, because we all experience different things, and you know, something that you may have to say may resonate with somebody else. So it would be lovely. All right, Ros, what are you up to this week?
What am I up to? Well, it's planning toward bringing my furniture out of storage and getting further progressed in setting home up to be my space and work from home in a more structured way, not the crazy way I have. Your doorbell went.
It did. That's my client. Okay. That'll be right. All right, guys. Well, I want to say have a lovely week. Take some time for yourselves. Remember to take those deep breaths and ground your energy and see how your body feels. I'd love to know next week how you're feeling a little bit differently in that way. All right.
And thank you, everyone, for your patience in the tech issues and having to swap to Leanne's link and hosting and all that. Thank you so much. So it's great.
Beautiful.
Thoroughly enjoy doing these each week. So see you next week.
Thanks, Ros. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Okay.